Honestly, I find it so easy to be a Kirby fan. No matter what happens, Nintendo will always put love into this cute puffball. And if you are not a Kirby fan and not interested in how much content Nintendo gives this franchise, I get it. But us Kirby fans just have to sit back and we will get the coolest things. It's like Nintendo just can't let a direct pass without saying something about Kirby. Forgotten Land and Dream Buffet were so pretty new off the bat. And as if that wasn't enough, bam, Return to Dreamland is getting remastered on Switch. Alright Nintendo, I guess we are doing this now, and there simply isn't enough Kirby content for me to play. And with that being said, the next direct that Nintendo announced that Tilt and Tumble and Amazing Mirror are both coming to Game Boy and Game Boy Advance on Nintendo Switch Online, and it's more interesting than you think. And yes, you might just see these as your typical ROM drops, heck, Dreamland 1 got dropped as soon as the app did. But what this really means is that we will get an official console release of Tilt and Tumble with actual native motion controls. I'm not too sure if the GameCube speedrun record holder will make the jump to Switch, but overall, it's tilting in the right direction. Also, let's not forget that Amazing Mirror will be on an emulator that has actual online play. I know these emulators just have online play built into them, so it's to be expected, but honestly, Amazing Mirror Online? That's just insane. And with all these announcements being said, alongside all the new stuff that is being added to Dreamland, it's like I said, us Kirby fans really just have to sit back and do nothing, and the best things happen. Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe is the 4th game in the franchise to get remade, and the 5th if you really want to include Superstar Soccer as a remake. Some people think that way. Plus, the time between the original's release alongside Deluxe's release, the timing actually makes sense. I mean, it's not like it's been only 8 years from the original's release, which if you really look at it, is not that far off from Adventure and Superstar when it came to their respective remakes. Extra Epic Yarn was the one to get the earliest out of all of them, and maybe that's why it falls under being the weakest one. They really could not shoot for that 10-year mark. Way to go, guys! And all this information isn't just for some Kirby trivia, but just to remind us that we are getting old very fast. Alright, starting the game right off the bat, does King Dedede still do the thing on the title screen? This game is already great. The story begins in the nice and peaceful world of Dreamland. Kirby is being happy and a mysterious ship crashes onto the world. Margalon needs your help to find the parts to fix it. It's a simple story, something bad is going on and you have to fix it. There isn't really much to say, plus Margalon is definitely not a bad guy, so we can trust him and do what he says. Also, the new redesign that they gave King Dedede really got me thinking about an old game with your Club Penguin looking self. While we got a brand new Kirby game all the way back in 2011, nothing really changes the fact that this is a Kirby game. Return to Dreamland took the formula of how Nintendo made past Kirby games like Superstar and Amazing Mirror and just give it the biggest polish you can get. Something they would keep doing in the 3DS games. The base mechanics still feel the same, all the copy abilities still do the Superstar thing of having different attacks depending on your button inputs. Each level has a number of hidden items to collect, so you have to pay a lot of attention to your surroundings instead of just plowing through each level. And it's put together with all the visuals and music which makes the game great. Even all the way back on the Wii, I would really liked how this game looked. All the colors stood out, the foreground is well detailed, and the amount of detail they put into the background makes it stunning. Most of the time, it's really easy to miss all of this when you are going through the levels and focusing on forward. Then we head over to Deluxe and we see the biggest change they made by adding outlines. Rather than Nintendo making the game look like it's running on an emulator on max settings, we actually have a very big art style change. They added so much detail to the foreground and the background, so areas for levels have this pastel look to them which looks nice. And yes, they gave outlines to everybody. A very interesting choice on their end. I personally did not think that the characters really blended in with the background of the levels in the past, but honestly, I'm all on board for it. Good job, Nintendo. I really like it when games have this nice artistic art style to them, and honestly, Dreamland wasn't uninspired when it came to the art style in my opinion. Yes, it was really detailed, but it still had the same level design of grassland, desert, underwater, snow, volcano. There are some levels that are more memorable, like the Sky Tower and mechanical stages. It's not really a problem for me, but it just doesn't stand out as much as other games like the 3DS ones. So the new style that the Deluxe has helped it to stand out more on its own. And man, don't even get me started on how good this game looks on the Switch OLED. I know that people rather the outlines to be more of an option because 2 days after they released the demo, a mod came out that removed the outlines. And it looks fine, but it's okay, I don't mind them. The game gets more interesting visually when you bring up the Kirby game made for Switch, Star Allies. Even when put side by side, the base Wii version still looks better, so Deluxe already beats it at that. To me, Star Allies did not make a style that really stood out. And also, I want to say, it's really nice having a Kirby game that runs at 60 FPS. It's about damn time, guys. Personally, I am not that big on frame rate for Nintendo games, but when the other modern games run at 60 and Star Allies run at 30, it doesn't look all that great. I did not mind it for Forgotten Land because that game was made in a different format, but for the 2D games, it was weird when I first saw it and it's still weird for me even to this day. In recent years, a mod was made just to push Star Allies to run at 60 and it looks much better. So yeah, what I'm saying is that Deluxe looks really great. Now, it's no Metroid Prime Remastered because Kirby is simply better. This game looks so great and there's so much fan service for it. Wow, Nintendo made the new game in an already great series look good. I am so shocked. But what I was really expecting from Nintendo is what was going to be new about this series. Because when it comes to these remakes, remasters, re-releases or whatever you call them, Nintendo doesn't have the best track record when we get these games like Link's Awakening or Mario Bros. Deluxe. So what will they add in Kirby Deluxe that will be fun for new players and people like me who have played this game over and over like the sad and lonely Nintendo fan that I am? Alright, to start things off, you can now taunt with the right stick. Yeah, the original did not have that. Deluxe is better, 10 out of 10. Okay, getting into things. You can now swim diagonally in this game. You have no idea how much this means for us Kirby fans. And for the first time in one of these remakes / remasters or whatever they are, Nintendo gave us new abilities. To start off, we got the Mecha ability. You have now become a Gundam now. You get a laser that can be charged up, you can also shoot some projectiles that can be fire or electric, a jetpack and some fiery hands. This ability is really cool to be honest, but not all that great. Like there is this cool backflip into laser combo that you can do. It looks awesome, but it's not as powerful as it should be. Like when you use it, it feels like nothing really happened. This outfit looks better than its actual use. Now all that could just be me not being good with it and I could just get better. It better be in the next game, Nintendo. Up next, we got Sand. Oh, this ability is so amazing. With the power to harness unlimited pocket sand, you can attack in many different directions and different ways. And every piece of sand that Kirby pulls out just does an insane amount of damage. This ability absolutely destroys bosses. Like man, if you just hold on the block button, you become invincible forever. And then you can shoot out of the sky, doing a lot of damage. It's insane how good this ability is. Plus, you look like a Super Saiyan while you're at it. Can't believe Sand is better than a mech. Both abilities do get their own challenge rooms in the Star Cutter, and that's really cool. Also considering just how hard those rooms are to get gold ranking, and let's not even start about platinum, they are the perfect ways for you to practice the new abilities. Man, even the Sand enemy looks better than the mech one. Like, this is not how I saw things at first. Oh, and also, I can't really forget to say that they added Festival from Star Allies into this game. Hooray! The only other time Nintendo added new abilities to a re-release were the Ravel abilities in Extra Epic Yarn. When the first game didn't really have abilities in the first place, I thought that their inclusion was really unnecessary. But for Deluxe, I'm on board. They're great. They don't feel like they are filling in a void that the Wii was missing, but the more abilities we get, the better. Do you need me to remind you just how good Sand is? This is one of, if not the best ability to use in Arena. Fighting Galacta Knight becomes so easy, and this guy is like a god. Take Sand in your eyes, you evil galactic menace, you ain't got nothing on Sand, Kirby. Now, an interesting thing about some of the abilities is that some of them got buffed. The energy thing with the sword from Triple Deluxe is there, the fire ability got some new moves as well as the rolling hammer flip that we are used to because it's really powerful. Fun fact, this move wasn't in the original game, but it's cool that it's here now. And they even recorded a new song for the microphone ability. Man, they give us so much for this game. When it comes to some fan service in these games, I always go to the new stone transformations that we get. We got a couple new ones like Magolor's ship, Kirby from Forgotten Land, and the big boy himself from Dream Buffet. This one is really good. Now this is one thing that I would have liked that they added, even though they already gave us so much in this game. But the challenges, stages from Dream Collection would be a nice touch. This content is still locked on the Wii, and it would be cool if it wasn't. Maybe there was a little hesitation because one of those abilities from the room is Smash, and seeing as how Smash isn't in this game, I mean they had to put their priorities elsewhere with the festival ability, you know, I understand. But seeing as how that was a way for this content to make its way back, it's a little upsetting. They also could have taken this opportunity and added the super cut and super spark ability that was cut content. And why not? A re-release is the best time to bring back some of that stuff. Oh yeah, we have to talk about the super abilities. The big gimmick for Return to Dreamland is the super abilities. There are areas where you can get a cool super ability, you swing something shiny and with one press of a button, basically nuke the screen. Deep down, I didn't really find them all too great. After all the flashy stuff, you definitely feel powerful, and you are. But the rooms that we get them in are just holding forward and one press of a button just destroy anything in your way. And it's all just to find and open one of these portals that take you to another dimension that has a chase segment and a mini boss fight. They serve their purpose, but they are not making me jump out of my seat. Gameplay wise, it's pretty simple, except for that one time where you turn into the head of a snowman. That's pretty amazing. But getting back on the differences in both versions, each super ability now has so much animation put into them. Back in the day when you got one of those, Kirby would do a little spin and be like, hey look, I got this, and get back to gameplay. But for Deluxe, oh, the camera comes zooming in, Kirby has so much emotion about what he just got. Oh, this game is just so amazing, I love it, just 10 out of 10. On the other hand, if you are one of those that don't want to see that, you can now skip the cutscenes. Yep, definitely could not do that in the original. We got the Gigant Sword, the Morpho Sword to the Ultra Sword lineup, that's really nice. Enemies will fly and face from the screen when you hit them with one of those, and again, that's really nice. When it comes to style over substance, with the super abilities, doubling down on the style was a good call by Nintendo. I like that these changes they added, but truth be told, Super Stuck from Triple Deluxe is still better. And during the final boss fight, they even brought back an animation from the Wii game, which is a nice throwback. They even gave us some new screen transitions. Oh, they really put a lot of polish into this. Oh man, what else is there? Okay, so we now have a Magolo helper mechanic where he will come give you some health and pick you up out of pits if you fall. That's helpful of him to do so. It's definitely not the fault of someone with an evil mind. I like that. I see him doing big things in the future. We now have the ability to store items while you're on your journey like Super Mario. I don't really think the game needs to be easier, but anything to make new players' experiences better, it's fine with me. On the other hand, there is still the higher difficulty that you can unlock after beating the game with 70% completion. The only thing for me is due to the shorter health bar, I couldn't tell if the enemy that killed me was from the original or not. So take me to court, I'm not a real Kirby fan. They also gave us a new past adventure screen on the main menu, just so that they can let us know how much of these games they keep pumping out with no sign of stopping. We got amiibo support so you can get items whenever you want. Sure, I guess. Of course, we have to talk about the co-op that makes a return. It doesn't have online play, but there wasn't really any sign saying that there was. Personally, it doesn't really bother me, but I know that there might be someone who would want it. Instead, Nintendo put the online into the new minigame mode, Merry Megaland, because Kirby is different and standard minigame menus are not for him. Oh no, my bad, only one minigame is online. Yep, only one. Thanks Nintendo. Come on man, this Magolo fella is the best. He comes to help me out of pit, he gives me healing items, and he even made his own theme park. This guy really can't do anything wrong. To start things off, we have 10 whole minigames, the most we have ever gotten from these games. For the new games that they gave us, we have Magolo's Storm Tracker where he shows you a book and you race to get it in the pile first. Plus, everyone is wearing a little school cap. The other new one is called Booming Blasters where everyone gets a gun and is now packing some heat and just have a good old time. When it comes to the other 8 minigames, they all are making a return from older Kirby games. Alright Nintendo, let's go. First, we have Egg Catcher from Adventure, Samurai Kirby from Superstar, Checkerboard Chase from 64, Bomb Rally from Nightmare in Dreamland, Crackety Hack from Amazing Mirror, Smash Ride from Squeak Squad, Kirby on the Draw from Superstar Ultra, and Ninja Dojo making its return from the original Dreamland, and all of this is just so amazing. They even made it so that when you are selecting a difficulty from one of the minigames, the music are remixes from each game's respective menus. They even made the victory screens the same from each game as well. The victory screen is the same as Kirby 64. Yes Nintendo, yes! Hey, I'm not that hard of a guy to please, so anytime something is remade from a franchise, I am on board. Now, when we hop onto the online mode, we only have one minigame to play, Samurai Kirby 100, where you and 99 other players around the world try to see who can destroy the controllers first by mashing the A button the fastest. Now, you can stand there and tell me that most of these might be CPU players, and honestly, I could not tell you. the difference. I really don't know why this was the only online minigame. I would say this might be pointless, but then I placed first and I would be mad if I would not be able to say I have the fastest hands, which in all honesty is not the best trait. Merry Megaland, the Kirby equivalent to Disneyland, would come back and spend all my money again. I like how it's just sitting in the background of Nutty Noon, a place so close but yet so far. So this game is 10 years old. There's nothing to spoil, right? Well, if you look at the back of the box, then you will see the Magalha's epilogue at the end of the game. So considering how long this video has become, I will save that topic for another video as we wrap up. Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe is one of the best remastered games. They took a great game and made it even better, and that's all it needed. It's a new Kirby game, there was no doubt it would be good. But now, I think we need a Kirby break from all they did with this franchise in 2023, from Forgotten Land to Dream Buffet and Deluxe. Yeah, this puffball needs some rest. But who am I to talk? Because when the next Kirby game comes out, guess who will be in line, front and center? Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please consider watching another one because that's how the algorithm works. So please click on this one that's being recommended to you right now because that's how it lets YouTube know that my videos are worth caring about. And if you have any Nintendo games that you'd like me to talk about, please leave a comment down in the comment section and I will add it to my long list of things that I will get to. Anyways, I hope I made your day just a little better and I'll catch you all next time.